Hey guys, so today I'm filming a 20 to 30 minute get ready with me type of video. This is for anybody who really needs to get out of the house quick and you don't have that much time to do your makeup, but you still want a full face of makeup, or if you're like me and you do take a long time to get ready and you're trying to narrow it down so you don't take as long, then this video could be for you. If it is not for you, I would still love for you to watch. So we're just gonna get right into it, and I'm gonna start with primer. So this video is probably going to take me a little more than 30 minutes to film it because I'm going to be telling you each product that I'm using. But the other day I did do this exact makeup routine and I think it was a little less than 30 minutes that I got ready in. So I'm starting off with primer. I'm using the Professional Primer from Benefit. I love this stuff so much. This was the first high-end primer I ever used. So I take a little bit of this and I put it on my nose and on my cheeks and then a little bit on my chin. These are my more problem areas for pores. So next step is I'm using the Hangover 3-in-1 spray, and I just spray this all over my face. The next thing that I do, this could take a couple more minutes if you have to do this step. So I'm using my Lancome Ultra Wear foundation. This shade for me is a little too yellowish. So that is why I do mix in some of the Estee Lauder Double Wear, because this has more of the warm undertone. Then I'll just take this excess and wipe it all over my face like so. I take my Morphe M439 brush and just buff it into the skin. Okay, once our foundation is on, we'll go into concealer. I'm using the Maybelline Age Wind concealer, and I'm going to highlight the nose. I'm going to go onto the chin and get right underneath the eyes there. Then I take my primer spray and just get the Beauty Blender dampened. Once the face is concealed, I take some Laura Mercier setting powder. I take that same sponge and I dab into there, and I just set the under eye. I don't do any baking under the eye during this process because we're trying to get ready quickly. So that's why I use the Beauty Blender to really let that powder sink into the skin. And then we take the rest and do our nose, do our chin, and then a tiny bit on the forehead. I have really bad lines in my forehead. And then while we're at it, we'll get the smile lines and just tap that in there. Now onto contour. I'm using the Blush Bar palette from Benefit. I'm going in with the Hoola bronzer, and we're just gonna start contouring these cheeks. Then we will carve out the forehead a little bit. To do like a 2-in-1 step, while I do my eyebrows, I take some more of that Laura Mercier setting powder and I carve out the cheeks where I just contoured. And while I do that, that's when I get into my eyebrows. And I'm going to do my eyebrows off camera. However you do your eyebrows, just do them that way, the quickest way you can do them if you're trying to get out of the house. So I'm going to do them off camera and I will be right back. Alright, so once my brows are done, I take some of my 24-hour brow setter from Benefit and I run this through the brow. This step isn't necessary if you don't want to, but I like to do this so our brows stay in place all day. Now is when we take off this powder, and I take this fluffy face brush right here and kind of just wipe that away and buff it into the skin at the same time. Okay, and I contour my nose, so I'll do that very quickly, and this isn't a necessary step if you don't want to contour your nose, but I find this way to be very quick. I take this angled brush right here. This is a Luxie 207T, a nice little travel brush, and I take this and just, I'm using the same Hoola bronzer. I run this down the nose. Then I take this Real Techniques complexion blender brush, and I just blend this contour on the nose out. I have been loving this brush lately to blend my contour on my nose. It works very well. So nose contour is done, face contour is done. Next step is some blush. And while I have my blush bar here, I'm going to dip into their blush Dandelion. I'm going to just dab that onto the apples of my cheeks and blend it outwards. You don't have to use a blush that is in a palette like this, but if you're using a palette like this and you have a blush handy in it, then that just saves you another step from reaching for some more stuff. Now my next step is some inner eye highlight, some brow highlight, and some face highlight. So for that, I'm taking my e.l.f. highlighting brush. I'm going to go in with this middle shade here in the Stellar Lights Milani palette. That is the shade Golden Quartz, and I'm taking a very light layer of that. We're just going to bring that onto the cheeks there. I love this highlighter palette. I have raved about it so many times now on my channel since I've got it. I highly recommend it. Now I'm taking the first shade here and just putting that into the middle of our cheeks. Ooh, I love it. That first shade there is Pearl, by the way. I have raved about this shade specifically so many times. And then I'm going to mix the two very lightly and just get a little highlight up here. And I'm going to take that shade Pearl and put it on my inner corner. This is my absolute favorite inner corner shade for the eye. Look how much it just brightens up the eye, and it's so beautiful. Now I take that hangover spray again, and we're going to spray the face. And now it's time for mascara. I like to put my setting spray on before the mascara so the blackness just doesn't get all over the place. So obviously this is a face tutorial and a get ready with me without doing some type of eyeshadow. That's why I really like to pop out the inner corners of the eye and the brow highlight. So we really look like a full face of glam but without some eyeshadow. I will be doing this style video as well with eyeshadow, so stay tuned for that. Here is the final look. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If this has been helpful to you, comment down below. Also comment down below if you want to see more of these videos. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single view that I get. Thank you for watching if you plan to watch in the future. I will link all my social media down below as well. And don't forget to subscribe down below also. Don't forget. And I'll see everyone next video.